But also, anyways, something else that I've also been interested in, and I know for those who have been here, um, for my earlier streams back when I streamed like years ago, is one franchise that I like is the SCP series. And I know it's like not an actual series, but for those who know it, you know that it is like kind of a pretty big thing nowadays, and that I don't know. I really like it. Like that I played that one game, SCP Secret Files. That was a fun one. I like that one mainly because it wasn't like some of these horror games that they have where you really got to worry about getting killed. Of course, I did get killed in a few of the parts that it had, but that's that's a different story altogether. Anyways, though, mostly what I've been focusing on lately is the actual wiki itself and all the articles. I have made a goal that I am going to try to read every SCP, like SCP object or whatever you want to call it, each one of those at least once. So right now I just been going through the whole wiki just one at a time in order and reading each one. Right now I'm in the 3300s. I know, crazy, right? And I'm not even like probably halfway done because I've been seeing ones that are in like the 7,000s and the 8,000s, I think. There's a lot. Oh my gosh. Like I'm on the site right now actually. Hold on. Cuz there's one I wanted to read to you. Let me just get it here. There we go. I wanted to read this one to you because I read it the other night and I thought it was really interesting. And I don't know if you guys feel the same, but yeah. But I'm looking at it and they have okay, so they have series here and they're already up on series 9. So that means they're definitely in the 8,000s right now. So yeah, as you can see, I am not even halfway done. But anyways, I wanted to read this one to you because I thought it was really interesting. Because one, it's kind of like a medical thing, but it's also has to deal with like time travel, sort of, and also it has to do with kidney stones, which I thought was interesting because I have had to deal with those in the past myself, and so I thought this was kind of interesting if I had to deal with something like this. So I'd like to read this one to you, and who knows if you guys have your like SCP that you like and you would love me to read on stream, please let me know, and I will gladly look it over and maybe even read it on stream. So, anyways, this one is SCP 3324. Object class is safe, and then these ones are like the newer ones, like the disruption class and the risk class. I like those. I'm still kind of trying to learn those ones. And so disruption class is Vlom, and the risk class is Notice. So it's not. It's this one's not very dangerous here. So special containment procedures. SCP-3324 is to be contained in a standard small object locker at Site-77 when not being used in testing. Any individual who wishes to access SCP-3324 must get the written permission of the site director to do so. If the site director wishes to access SCP-3324, they must obtain O5 approval to do so. All testing performed involving SCP-3324 must be rigorously planned, documented, and filed with the site director to curb possible abuse. If any Site-77 personnel unexpectedly develop symptoms of kidney stones, they are to be tested to determine if the individual is, is an SCP-3324-2 instance. Following Test 31, cross-testing of SCP-3324 with other anomalies requires written permission from a level 4 or higher individual. So, this is a picture of it. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's like a little metal thing here. SCP-3324 photo taken during recovery. So, the description. SCP-3324 is a stainless steel hand sieve with manufacturing marks suggesting it was produced by Oneida Limited. A Foundation investigation found no other sieves of the same or similar models with anomalous properties or evidence of anomalous activity during the manufacturing of said models. If an individual urinates into SCP-3324, its anomalous properties will trigger and cause the individual, henceforth designated 33 SCP-3324-1, to develop nephrolithiasis, nephrolithiasis, aka kidney stones, retroactively. One moment. For footnote 1. Individuals who are already instances of SCP-3324 1 or 3324 2 who are currently suffering from non anomalous kidney stones are unaffected. Upon urinating into SCP 3324, an SCP 3324 1 instance will begin to suffer from kidney stones 18 days in the past. They will intermittently experience severe lower back pain, bloody urine, and occasionally minor urinary tract infections as the stone moves through the kidney and ureter, culminating in the stone being passed into SCP 3324. Appropriate instruments detect tachyon emissions as the kidney stone is being passed. 3324 1 instances possess two divergent sets of memories, one which they are suffering from kidney stones over the past 18 days, the current timeline, and one in which they are not, the previous timeline. Other individuals may have this second set of memories as well. The criteria that determines which individuals other than SCP 3324 1 instances receive multiple sets of memories, if needed, if indeed any exist, is not fully understood. However, it is unknown that the likelihood of any given individual receiving a second set of memories is roughly proportional to how frequently that individual interacted with SCP 3324 1 instance over the past 18 days. The overall sequence of events is the lives of SCP 3324 1 instances are invariably very similar in the current and previous timelines. The most impactful symptoms of nephrolithiasis, such as particularly severe bouts of lower back pain, occur when the SCP 3324 1 instance was doing relatively inconsequential activities in the previous timeline. It has therefore been theorized that SCP 3324 is predisposed to minimizing the impact it has on the timeline in some way. SCP 3324 has a second set of anomalous properties discovered after Incident E. Individuals affected by this second set of symptoms are designated SCP 3324 2. Further details are restricted to personnel with Level 4 or 3 3324 clearance. Okay, let's enter the clearance. Credentials accepted. Incident E. On 07/09/17, SCP underwent an unwrapping event and accidentally referred to itself in the third person, enabling SCP 1 to escape its containment chamber and flee into a nearby D class dormitory. Once inside, it killed 3 D class and injured 7 before recontained by security personnel. SCP researchers having concluded that SCP cannot reasonably be held responsible for the incident, and so no disciplinary measures will be taken. SCP is currently working with researchers to develop ways to prevent such incidents in the future. During Incident E, SCP 1 appeared to choose not to attack D348, D6166, and D0040, which is unprecedented behavior for the object. A rigorous series of tests were carried out to try and determine the cause of this unusual behavior, to inconclusive results. However, 2 days after Incident E, D348 began to exhibit symptoms of kidney stones. It was then hypothesized that SCP 3324 may have been connected to SCP 1's behavior. When it was discovered that D348 had been scheduled for testing with SCP 3324 10 days in the future. Footnote 2. D class personnel had been selected for testing with SCP 3324 at random prior to testing policy change 2 weeks earlier. The current model for the object set of anomalous properties was created. If an individual with access to SCP 3324, footnote 3, tentatively defined as an individual in a position where they can obtain and use SCP 3324 more or less, quote, on demand. Plans for an individual, either themselves or another, to urinate into SCP 3324 at some point in the future. The individual scheduled to use SCP 3324 becomes an instance of SCP 3324 2. SCP 3324 2 instances will begin to exhibit symptoms of kidney stones. If they are planned to use SCP 3324 more than 18 days in the future, they will begin exhibiting symptoms 18 days prior to the planned date. If an SCP 3324 2 instance is scheduled to use the object less than 18 days in the future, they will begin exhibiting symptoms at variable times, ranging from a few hours after the plan is made to 2.5 days before the planned time. SCP 3324 2 instances cannot be prevented from urinating into SCP 3324 and passing their kidney stone at the planned time. Any action that would prevent this would be thwarted by circumstance in some way. It is believed that this is the result of SCP 3324 manipulating causality to avert a temporal paradox. If the SCP 3324 2 instance does not pass their stone into SCP 3324, there will be no retrocausal agent to give them the stone in the first place. Attempted actions averted by SCP 3324 include surgical removal of the kidney stone, confinement into a different room during the planned time, and killing the SCP 3324 2 instance. Selected experiment log Test 17 07 12 17. Subject D D-348. D-348 will be sedated to the point of unconsciousness. Agent Binney will then attempt to terminate D-348 with his sidearm. On the results. On the first attempt, Agent Binney's sidearm jammed. Agent Binney then disassembled, thoroughly cleaned, and reassembled his weapon. On his second attempt, oh, on his second attempt, his firearm jammed again. Agent Binney cleaned his weapon a second time. On his third attempt, the weapon fired successfully. However, Agent Binney unexpectedly sneezed while firing, causing the shot to miss D-348's head and hit his shoulder instead. At this point, Dr. Thompson, SCP-3324 lead researcher, called an end to the test, and D-348 was given medical treatment for his wound. Analysis. I ended the test when I did because I thought that the causality affecting properties of SCP-3324 had been adequately established. However, the possibility that I chose to end the test at the point I did due to SCP-3324's influence has not escaped me. Dr. Thompson. Test 31, 08-25-17. Subject D720, D1963, and D4822. Proposal D720 will be made into an SCP-3324 2 instance. He will then be exposed to SCP, which, due to the nature of its anomalous properties, kills 100% of individuals exposed to its anomalous effect. Results. Upon entering SCP active radius, D720 triggered its active state. As is expected, however, shortly before the time in which SCP was expected to terminate D720, D720 vanished for 1.42 seconds before reappearing. It was then vaporized in a manner typical to those exposed to SCP. 9 days later, at the planned date and time, SCP 3324 was laid on a table in a testing chamber equipped with tachyon detectors and high speed cameras. D720 manifested for 1.42 seconds in the testing chamber. His pants and underpants manifested on the floor approximately zero point 0.5 meters behind him. An estimated 2 milliliters of urine came out of his penis and landed in SCP 3324. At the same time, D720's kidney stone emerged at high speed through the skin of the lower left portion of his torso and landed in SCP 3324. Greatly elevated tachyon emissions were measured during this period. Analysis. Well, it looks like 3324 isn't quite the miracle causality armor we hoped it was, but it still has tremendous potential. Heck, what happened to D720 is only a little bit worse than what was going to happen to him anyway. Dr. Thompson. SCP 3324 was recovered from the fraternity house at the University of. Fraternity member Jeffrey became an SCP 3324 1 instance during a hazing ritual in which he was made to urinate on and then clean various objects. The following day, he discussed his feeling of having two sets of memories on social media to try and determine if anyone else had had similar experiences. Several friends reported that they, too, remembered certain events two ways. A Foundation web crawler flagged the exchange as a probable indicator of anomalous activity, leading to the recovery of the item. Open communication record 100317. Login confirmed. Welcome, Agent Luther Dottier. From Operations Administration at Foundation.scp to Laura Luther's Dottier at Foundation.scp. Subject: details on a new experimental procedure. You will be urinating into SCP 3324 4 weeks from now, as will all other members of MTF Upsilon 10. You all have been granted Level 3 3324 clearance to understand the purpose for this. The field utility of 3324 will be tested in your upcoming operation. Good luck, soldier, and drink plenty of fluids. But yeah, anyways, I thought this article was really funny, but also really interesting because if I had this thing, like I would hate that. Like have it like dealing with like time travel in like the worst way. Like you if you're like planning on peeing into this thing, you develop kidney stones in the past and then oh and then like that's the way they do it. It's like if you just happen to do it, you end up getting it in the past and you get like two sets of memories, which is interesting. And then if like your plan to do it, like you it like basically makes it to where you have to do it no matter what's trying to stop you. And I liked how they did it at the end where the email's like, "Okay, you and your team are planning to use SCP-3224 in like 4 weeks. So, yeah, we're going to see how that works out." So basically, it's like they're using it as like a protection, but they're curious to see how that's going to work out because with that 1D class, they plan to use that SCP object to like kill him when they plan for him to use it. And he just like disappeared and then came back. And then 9 days later, he showed up in a testing room for like almost like a second and a half. And then his pants were like about half a meter away from him, and then he urinated, and then the kidney stone came out of his like ripped out of his kidney, and it landed in there. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was really interesting because like it was a medical kind of based thing with the kidney stones, and then like the time travel aspect of it was interesting too. Because I liked how it like prevents like the paradoxes and all that. So, anyways, I just wanted to read that one because I thought it was interesting. But if I come across any others, I will definitely read them on stream. And if you guys also have any favorites, then I really hope you will let me know about them. And if you want me to read them on stream, please let me know.